What's up, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome back to another post-commentary duel video. We're back with more Infernoid Zoodiac. Me playing Infernoid Zoodiac on the left, playing against my brother playing Invoked, Windwitch, Artifact, both playing on the beautiful brand new 4,000 subscriber playmat. We recorded a couple matches with these, so if you see the mats appear in several duel videos after this, that's because we wanted to record a couple videos like this, because we probably wouldn't have that opportunity, obviously, once they were given away. So wanted to get them featured in a couple videos, and these playmats were both signed, and these are two of the four that were given away. So you can be like, one of my playmats was used in the video, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so you'll see me first turn going auto top engine into Invoker. Pretty good play. Gonna summon out Momarat, or Rat Pierre. I always call things by their OCG names. I don't know why. Like, I still call anything Necross related, I call it by the OCG name, like Exomir or Necloth, or whatever you want to call it. So you see me go Broad Bowl all the way up to Broad Bowl to detach and search, and detach summon, and then go into Giant and detach the Rat to get that last summon of Rat, adding Whiptail to my hand, of course. Starting to assemble the classic Zoo combo. At this point, I was playing double Trident. Since then, I've cut down on Trident to 1, just because I just don't really need it that much. There was like the late game utility, or just the not opening well utility, where basically if I didn't open up a full Zoo combo and I opened up like a Whiptail or something, I could just normal the Whiptail, go into Broad Bow, go into Broad Bull, detach Broad Bow, search another Whiptail, put it underneath, and then slap a Dryden on top, and I'd have a 2400 Dryden going into next turn. Not that it mattered too much. Really kind of a mediocre play and not worth going into anymore, in my opinion, so that's why I cut Dryden down to 1. I still have an extra Dryden that I could play. I just decide not to play it. So at this point, I go into Kagetsuchi to mill 5, mill Slumber, and Spiritual Sword. So my graveyard's looking pretty good. I've got a searchable out to anything, and I've got a OTK stopper in grave as well. So I'm feeling pretty good about those mills. And then the grass looks greener. We mill a whole bunch of cards, probably maybe like just over 10 or so. Obviously, we go through a couple of cards to start the Zoo combo. But we've got a couple Infernoids in grave. It doesn't look like I milled any Fairy Tale Snows. Maybe one Decatron. So, if we do end up getting Void Feast later, we're all set. Here in main phase 1, I end up using my Giant to pop my Invoker so I can get room on the field to be able to summon a Nunku. You could have argued that, I could have went into, Gem Knight Pearl instead and just summoned the Nunku, keeping the Invoker on the field, but the Invoker's not really needed, after a first, after you go through a Zoodiac combo, you just really don't need it on the board anymore. It doesn't do anything to hurt your opponent. Kagetsuchi has a little more utility, as it can protect itself by detaching, and now having a Nuku on field as well, so that's also going to be helpful. Yeah, another thing, I don't know if a lot of people notice this, but if you have Trident and you have your Kagetsuchi on field, and they go to slumber you, and if you just pop your own Trident and save your Kagetsuchi, the slumber does not resolve, and they do not summon out any Kaijus. So it's pretty interesting. I stop the magical meltdown. He sets 4 back row, probably artifacts, battle traps, maybe a pesky Vanity's Emptiness sitting somewhere. I cannot summon anything at the moment because my levels and ranks are well over 8, 18 to be exact. I use Slumber to search Gamma Seal, counting cards, because it looks like I might have another Grasslick Screener. These were recorded, I think, maybe last week, so my build has changed a little bit, but not too much. I don't main the Kaiju engine anymore. I side it. I side a small, compact 4-card Kaiju engine, which I really, really enjoy. The past 2 tournaments I went to, I had no issues with just having the 4 cards in the extra deck, or in the side deck to bring in, and it's just a Kumungus, a Gamma Seal, and a Mad Flame Kaiju Dogoran. And I'm going to use a Zoodiac combo now to get a free draw here. But it's just a nice small package, and the one slumber, obviously. Because, if you draw one kaiju, you still have, the targets for your slumber. And if you draw, kaiju, you can still slumber. And the thing is, like, if I ever ended up milling a big grassless greener turn 1 and I milled the slumber, and I'm playing against, like, Windwitch Artifact, and I have to worry about, Crystal Wing coming down, a first turn Crystal Wing play, which is very devastating, going into Borbo here with a Zoo combo. No Zoodiac combo to send this time, obviously, as I've already used it. Recycle most of my engine now with Zoodiac combo, going into Broad Bowl. I've got another Dryden to go into. Looks like I'm going to try to attempt to search a Whiptail here to get the Dryden up to a little bit more attack. The second Dryden that would be brought out. But yeah, as I was saying, like, if you mill your one of Slumber, like I said, you got a searchable out next turn, so you don't have to worry too much about that Crystal Wing. Still waiting on a response. Got a Spell Trap negation. So I let it go. I let the Compulse go because I figured there are worse back row that are set. I really don't need the little added Dryden play because my board's already good enough. And at this point, I've got a dedicated tribute target for Inuku, and that's going to be my Dryden. He goes Artifact Sanctum. I have to negate that because I don't want him to get enough advantage off of that because Sanctum is a very scary card. I'll take 5,500 total. I'll pass it back to him. Still cannot summon any Infernoids. And there's a Magical Meltdown. Here I have the opportunity to negate. I have to. Cannot let him get the advantage for Magical Meltdown. That card is too good. If they get a Magical Meltdown off, you've allowed them to gain a lot of advantage because that card is really, really good. It allows them access to Alistair. And there is, I think, Glass Bell. The level 4, searching him Ice Bell. So did not open up the most optimal one. But he has the engine now. So, me being a smart player, I could have just summoned, or just, left his thing on board. And not gotten rid of his Vanity's Emptiness. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what the thought process was. But I did it anyways. So, because, if I do that at that point, then he doesn't get to, vanities or get his vanities off the field, and he can't special summon his Ice Bell next turn. So, but I ended up doing it just to get rid, of the vanities emptiness. Obviously, summon Deviati. It summons his, his Scythe, which is okay. Not negating the Scythe. I don't need to. Scythe is not a threat at this point. He still cannot summon Ice Bell. And even if he did, I'd have the negation for it. Which is A-okay. Still got Spiritual Swords engraved. Normal summoning Ice Bell. Using, what the hell is wrong with me? Using Wonder Wand, tributing it away. Drawing 2 cards. Wonder Wand being one of the better decks, or one of the better cards in the deck. Switching his Scythe to defense position. Kind of trying to protect his life points a little bit. Not a bad play. Another thing my brother was thinking about playing in his build was Ruella, Fairy Tale Ruella, which basically allows you to equip, I think, an equip spell to it from deck. And it is a spellcaster, so you could equip Wonder Wand. Immediately you get yourself a free plus 1 or whatever. Just draw 2 cards, basically able to search Wonder Wand out of the deck, which would be really, really cool. Quaking Mirror Force is there. I've got the tanky, so I can go into, grab Whiptail. I special summon my Kumungus to try to push for damage, and it gets met with, an unfortunate Quaking. That card is too good this format. Battle Trap's making a resurgence, which is actually pretty cool to see. But yeah, I get punished by carelessly attacking. Now, I've been a lot more careful, like switching 1 or 2 monsters to defense, because you don't always need to attack with all your monsters, especially when there are mirror forces running around. Especially stuff like, drowning, storming, and quaking. You gotta watch out for those, because those can easily cost you the game. My only way out of this is to be able to summon a Nuku and clear everything. But I've got double tanky, searching another Whiptail, going into Tiger Mortar, into Dryden, equipping another one, and I can pop his Gamma Seal, and this ends up being game right here, attacking for 26. He does have Max C. Does not matter, though. I know he doesn't play any hand traps that'll stop battle phase stuff, so play into the max C, but it guarantees me game, so it doesn't matter too much. Taking the right amount of risk as we head into game 2 here, where he will have to go first, opening up Magical Meltdown, searching Alistair the Invoker. Alistair the Invoker gets normal summon, he'll add Invocation. Invocation Alistair is a very volatile loop. You know, they keep using it. You know, Invocation recycles itself, they got Alistair. So now you know they have Alistair, now they can continue diffusion next turn. Really, really strong combo. If you can't break that Alistair Invocation chain, you're setting them up for like a really, really good game, because they're just going to have everything they need. All it takes is just a simple normal summon. So I summon Fairy Tale Snow, and he has Vanity's Emptiness. And I'm attempting to Book of Moon his, even though I can't get over it. I just do it for the hell of it. Try to psych him out a little bit. But he changed his Raging in response to book my Fairy Tale Snow, and he attacks into Fairy Tale Snow. And he'll pass it back over to me. Vanity's Emptiness is still up, obviously being a huge problem. There's Fire Formation Tanky. Tanky grabs Rat. Rat not going to be too useful at the moment. Can't go Zoo combo, so he's probably going to stay in my hand for the next couple of turns. And since this, it took like 1 or 2 locals after this was recorded. I'm now playing 3 Twin Twister in the main, because the card is amazing going first, and the card is amazing going second. Just having that security, be able to out back row and end phase Twin Twistering, especially when you're going first, to clear back row is just, it's just too good. And that's a utility I want to be able to have, especially since you have to worry about milling, you know, a Twin Twister here and there. I'm okay with opening 1 or 2 Twin Twisters sometimes, because the discard fodder, you know, you put Infernoids in grave, put Fairy Tale Snow in grave. It's fine. It really doesn't matter too much. Still has Vanity's Raging. Still a very controlling game. I set 1. Pass. I believe it's Max C, yeah. Max C obviously not going to be too helpful now. Nobody's really special summoning, and probably won't continue to special summon for at least a little bit. There's Fairy Tale Snow again, attempting to Book of Moon. And I Solemn Strike. His Raging. This was a bit of a misplay on his behalf. You know, part of it was me trying to psych him out, you know, using the Fairy Tale Snow effect on summon, like openly normal summon instead of just setting it, you know, to just try and just like, you know, set 1 pass and, you know, hope I draw into an out for the emptiness. But that's not what I'm having. I wanted just to like normal it, you know, use the effect and see if I get him to bait out the Raging effect, and it does end up working. But later on, he obviously fully admitted it was a misplay. Obviously, you know, we all make misplays here and there. And there's me popping with Patrulia, the Sanctum, partially a misplay on my behalf as well, because I should have popped Meltdown, is what I should have done, but... and arguably, you know, I may not have needed to strike his Raging, but it was technically my only out to the emptiness. So it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. So here, this is a little weird. I just had this breakthrough skill set that he went to pop with the Sanctum. But I'm not sure what gets. I'm not sure what happens first. Like when it's popped, you pop a card and then Sanctum summons if you chain it. But I really wasn't too concerned about not being able to go into the extra deck that turn anyways. It really doesn't bother me too much that I wasn't able to. Like, I could have gone into Gem Knight Pearl, which I think would have been my only viable option. You know, I could have made Rhapsody and banish stuff, but he's just really, really weak. Doesn't really do much. You know, being able to go into Pearl at this point at least would allow me to get over his Scythe and not have him have that. But he has the Alistair Invocation, so like it doesn't matter. He can go into Mecha at this point if he wants. He banishes the Fairy Tale Snow out of grave for the Mechaba, and then using Invocation to, of course, restart the cycle, putting it back into his deck, adding Alistair back to hand. Now has Scythe and Mechaba on board, 1 set back row with Meltdown against my Tanky and my Fairy Tale Snow and Patrulia going again. with Invocation. And I made another mistake this turn. You probably already could have tell what it was, is not using Betrulia to banish his Invocation when he went to use it. Obviously, to add Alistair back to his hand, that was a huge mistake. I can't tell you how many times I forget to, like, you know, that I have DD Crows on my field, and I just forget to do it, and it's just, it's a little annoying sometimes, but I'm totally fully aware now that something that I can do is obviously stop the Invocation cycle, and I know how good it is just to do that. Breakthrough skill, obviously, hitting the Mechaba, summoning Harmatic, baiting the Ragin, it works, and there I go, normal summoning Zoodiac, you know, Momarat, Raptier, forgetting to send combo, and they go all the way up to Broad Bowl, and it's met with a solemn warning, so, like, how good of a player am I? I just always forget that, you know, Rat does something else other than just summoning more rats when he's under material, so lost that game right there. Couple misplays, but fully acknowledged. I don't need any experts in the comments to, you know, elaborate any further. But, you know, there might be one or two still, you know, that's fine. So game 3, we start up with Terror Top. It's met with a fucking Max C. At this point, I'm debating on whether or not I, you know, go any further. Obviously not. Gonna go with just Totem Bird. He'll get the one draw. There's less cards in his deck now, thanks to his Maxi. So I mill quite a few cards. Doesn't look like I hit Fairy Tale Snow. Milled quite a bit of Infernoids, though, so that's good. Totem Bird, and then I go Void Vanishment. Always want to make sure you do Void Vanishment last if you have a Zoo play, because at that point, if you do Vanishment first, you kind of screw yourself over by only being able to summon Infernoids for the rest of the turn. So now I have a Void Feast play. During draw phase, he has another Maxi. I think it was the first card he said he drew off his Maxi in the first place. So, you know, how coincidental. Double Decatron, one sending a Nuku, one sending, I believe a Tondel, because I milled the other, what's it called? I milled the other Nuku, so I can only send Deviati. And I think my other Deviati might have been in grave as well. So, and there he goes, I believe after he chaliced the Totem Bird, you know, there's no sense in negating it. He just outs it with the double spells, you know, because I was only able to send Deviati, so I really couldn't stop anything. You know, being able to send a Nuku is so much better because your first turn boards lose very hard to cards like Slumber, Raigeki, Chalices, any type of board clear, really. That's why it's so pivotal to be able to send a Nuku and Deviati. Totem Bird not being able to help, obviously, once he's chaliced and negated. And then a Raigeki comes down, you know. What else are you going to do? Of course, I chained the Infernoids that I could have chained to banish stuff out of his grave. Invocation banishes Take Tomborg. Goes for Ragin. And then Invocation adds back, of course, Alistair, while shuffling itself back into the deck. Meltdown, one set back row, Ragin. Looking pretty good. Swinging in for 22. Debating on if there's any other plays he wants to make. I draw for turn. And is it the card I need? There's Lancia. But I top deck the Interrupted Slumber. And I grab Gameciel for him. And I grab Kumungus for me. Because I might have milled the Dogoran. There's Artifact Sanctum. I believe he's going to go for Moral Talk here, popping it. And at this point, I'm under Lancia, can't summon anything. I try to summon a Tondel, and then I quickly remember, I'm like, oh, well, there's Lancia. I'm like, a Tondel would have been a perfect out to this board, just attack. But that's not the case. Then I pass it over. You know, he swings in for, you know, a lot of damage. At this point, I'm just checking to see if there's any last thing I can do. Normal's Alistair, of course. It's already in his hand. He's added it, you know, obviously back, you know, last turn. Seeing what he wants to banish out of my grave. Banishes Kumungus. Go for Mega Lancia. Swinging for, you know, way too much damage. Mechaba banishing Lancia and Alistair, like, GG. GG across the board. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. More duel videos on the way. As always, guys, Winner Kills signing out. We'll see you in the next one.